Hey, I'm Tonya Rapley, financial educator and founder of MyFab Finance, and welcome to All Things Money. So, you decided you want to take your relationship to the next level, but you realize we need to ask a few questions of each other when it comes to money so we can make sure that we're on the same page. So, what questions should you be asking your significant other, and how should you ask those questions, and when should you ask those questions? One of the first questions that you should ask is, what's your saving strategy? Because saving money is important. Yes, we make money to spend it, but we also need to make sure we're saving it. And you don't want to be the only person in your relationship who's saving for a rainy day. The other question is, what's your credit score? Because credit is important. While credit is about your relationship to debt, credit does allow you to make larger purchases. If someone has a bad credit score, it doesn't mean that the relationship should be game over, but it means that we have a little work to do so that we can achieve some of the financial goals that we want to achieve. The third thing to ask is, what are your financial goals? Because if someone doesn't have financial goals, then what's guiding their financial decisions? A lot of times people shoot in the dark because they don't have any financial goals, and your financial goals are what are going to align your spending and saving habits so that you can make sure that you're doing what's best for yourself and your family down the line. And lastly, this question goes overlooked. Are you financially responsible for anyone now, or will you be financially responsible for anyone in the future? This means, do you have any children I need to know about? Do you have any nieces and nephews that you promised to pay for college for? Or are your parents planning on you funding their retirement? Because that's something you need to know, and you don't want to wait until you're 15, 20 years into your relationship to find out that you'll be funding your significant other's parents' retirement. That's a major conversation to have, and most people don't ask that question. So, we've asked these important financial questions, but how do we ask them? Because talking money isn't always the easiest. One of my good friends gave me the best suggestion ever, and it was, keep in mind tone, tact, and timing. So the tone, how are you asking this question? Are you asking it from a place of love? Or are you asking it from a place of frustration or an anxiety? If you realize that you're frustrated and have anxiety, you might want to wait until you calm your emotions down and you can ask those questions from a place of love or compassion. The second is tact. A lot of times this goes overlooked, but talking about money isn't easy, and the more tactful you are, the more likely you are to get a response that you would prefer. And then timing, because every question isn't for every scenario, and you want to make sure that you're asking these questions at the appropriate time, preferably in a better environment. You just want to make sure that you're allocating the right time to have these financial conversations should things get a little heated, or if you want to ensure that you have as much privacy as possible as you talk about these private matters. And lastly, don't avoid the conversation. Don't avoid asking these money questions, because you'll probably be sorry for it down the line, and it's important to talk about money, and it's important to ask these questions when you realize that you're getting serious, because you don't want to move along in the relationship without making sure that you're on the same page financially.